G'day everyone, this is Jackson Milan, the Wealth Mentor, co-founder and CEO of Aureus Financial.
Sam Panetta, COO and co-founder of Aureus Financial.
And welcome to our first Ask Aureus Anything question and answer live event. How can I get out of having to do a budget? I hate it. I agree, I hate doing a budget as well. I've really tried to work to overcome the negative connotations of budgeting, because I think that for far too long we've been conditioned to believe that budgeting is meant to be a negative thing. Most of us think that to do a budget you've got to punch out a spreadsheet every week or every month, you've got to count every last dollar, you've got to eat cornflakes for dinner, beans on toast, you've only got to shop at Aldi, no coffees in the morning, no avo on toast. It's not the case. A motto I've always had is you live for today and you plan for tomorrow. Like, most of us work hard, we make good money, we're doing good things, and if you take all of the joy out of life after all of that sacrifice, you're never going to stick the course. The biggest mistake that I see people make when it comes to budgeting is that they try and run their budget too lean, and what they're doing is they're guaranteeing failure. And like anything, our mind and our mindset is really the determining factor of whether we can stick to a budget or not. And if we're constantly setting ourselves up to fail, how can you condition yourself to be successful when it comes to managing your cash flow? So I always say it's about, you have to do a budget once, all right? You do an Excel spreadsheet once, and we call it the personal profit and loss for you, proprietary limited. And I've written about this in my book. The idea is then defining what it is that you require to live the life that you desire. And as a result of the income that you earn and the lifestyle that you want to live, is there anything left over at the end of the month or at the end of the year? It's at that point you should compare that to your bank account balance. So if you're saying, oh, well, my surplus is $2,000 a month, and you're actually negative $2,000 a month smashing your credit card, then it's obvious that what you think you're spending and what you're actually spending is very, very different. So then it's about doing some damage control. And the first things first is having the right structure in place. A budget is a reflective exercise. It's a lag indicator for something that's already happened or what you think has happened. You need to implement strategies that act as lead indicators that can actually influence the behaviors before they happen. And how you do that is to have the right budgeting structure. It's about segmenting your spending to separate your business expenses, or if you're not a business owner, your fixed expenses from your discretional expenses. So an issue that a lot of business owners have, they don't pay themselves a fixed wage. You should. As simple as that. Once you pay yourself a fixed wage, which is your net income after you've calculated your tax and saved for that to avoid getting in trouble with the tax man, that should come into a hub account, which is there basically to provide you with a buffer of money. I normally say in the vicinity of about 10 grand. Depending on your household, will depend on how much that is. And then have all of your fixed expenses coming out of there. So rent, mortgage repayments, groceries, bills, all those things. And you have a card for that you label hub or fixed, or whatever terminology you prefer. You then need to have a discretional spending account, which you have one for yourself, one for your partner. And I advocate having your finances combined, and if you've got this structure, it's going to alleviate all of those financial arguments that you're going to have, not just now but forever, if you can set this up. And it's about agreeing on how much you need for your personal spending on a weekly basis. Your avo and toast, your coffee in the morning, going for a couple of beers with the boys, buying that new pair of shoes, whatever it is, break it down to a weekly amount regardless of your payment frequency, and set that up to automatically go into your spending account every single week. You have a dedicated card for that labelled spend, and it's at the front of your wallet because that's the one you're going to smash. And you're also going to have one more account, which is your holidays and your bills account. And you're going to average out how much you need to save for in advance for the things that sneak up on you. The annual holiday. We're not going to chuck it on the credit card anymore. We're going to save for it in advance. Your registration, you're going to break that down monthly so you can save for that in advance. And what we've done is we've just quantified all the possible things that we could spend. Our fixed expenses, our discretional expenses, our bills and holiday spending. So if our hub account is growing every single month, we're saving money. If it's decreasing every single month, we're overspending. So it becomes the line on the ship where we can see the line of where the water is and essentially what's happening with the tides. The tides should always be rising, which means we're saving money. And then it's a matter of committing that savings or paying yourself first and putting it somewhere out of sight, out of mind. Commit yourself to surplus. And don't use consumer debt. Credit cards are not needed. Do away with them. So I've got lots more about that in my book that's coming out in the next couple of weeks. If you want any more info around the structures of budgeting and how to go about it, just let us know. We also believe in using the right software as well. You don't need to do a spreadsheet every single month. It's just not necessary anymore.
Jackson loves budgeting.
I love it. The sexy B word.
Look, it's supposed to be empowering, right? It's not supposed to screw you down. You're supposed to understand where your money's coming and going, and then feeling confident about your spending decisions. You're not supposed to feel guilty about your financial decisions. So read the book. Jackson's got it all in the book.
It's all in the book.
All right.